What is up, guys? It is your coach of the Detroit Blue Flares, Kaz the Weeb, and we are here with the next season of the UNPL Academy League, and we are in the Uva Division, facing off against a lot of familiar faces and some new faces. And yeah, so we're finally branching out again. I know we did DDL before. Well, Dannymac was nice enough to let me know that I was very free to join if I so wanted, so I decided to sign up for his upload league. So we have another upload required league other than Luxury Ball, and in this video we are going to just go over my team that I drafted, and hopefully I don't make too many changes because I always make a lot of trades, but we'll see, because I drafted a team that I really like, but who knows how well it's going to work. So I guess we'll be finding out this season. But with that being said, we're going to get right off or we're gonna start right off, not get right off. We're gonna start right off with our round 1 pick, a very controversial mon in the puddle landscape, and that is Urshifu Rapid Strike. I decided to grab me the Water Bear. A mon that isn't even allowed in puddle, but figured I should try it for myself because I hate on it so much. Don't want it in my league. Maybe I should try it out and see how it, see how it feels. It is a very strong mon, rocking an 130 attack stat with a very strong stab moves of close combat and surging strikes, which is a very nice one. If I want to be safe, I could also run a different water move. If I'm worried about rocky helmets, I could also run protective pads, but he has a decent speed stat and pretty respectable bulk, 100 HP and 100 defense, slap an AV, and he has a pretty decent Spadef tier 2. But yeah, just a very strong mon, has good priority with Aqua Jet as well. And a mon that I'm looking forward to using this season, hoping that I do well with it, so all my hate is warranted, But with that being said, let's get on to the next pick, and that is Rillaboom. I've been wanting to use this mon for so long. I'm so excited I get to use it now. I love this big monkey. He sets up the terrain, helps me protect my ground weak mon, so now they cannot use Earthquake against me, at least. Obviously, they can still use Earth Power in like single target ground moves, but that's okay. Rillaboom has really good stats to go with that. 85 speed's pretty decent. Got 125 attack, which is not only really good, but the terrain also boosts his grass moves. So he has priority Grassy Glide that can hit like a truck, especially if you slap a choice band on there. You can also rock him with leftovers, so he gets 12% healing with the terrain plus lefties. He also has moves like Knock Off, Drain Punch, U-Turn, high horsepower for those fire types and steel types that want to come in. I believe he also gets Drain Punch, so he has pretty decent coverage. You can also be cheeky and run Drum Beating instead of Wood Hammer. That slows the speed of the mon that gets hit by it as well. So pretty fun stuff you can do with that. And yeah, so just back-to-back mons. They got momentum. They got priority, so I got to be careful with the upper hand because that's a new move that came out that I forgot about till recently. But yeah, he is gonna be awesome. I'm hoping I can do well with them. I'm definitely gonna be using Rillaboom as much as I can, not only in this season but in seasons to come, because I fall in love with this mod and I haven't even used it yet. But on to round 3. Next, we grabbed the mon that came out in, I believe, DLC 2. The giraffe Pokemon that everyone hated on because of how goofy he looks. We got Raging Bolt. Has a really good typing of Electric and Dragon. That's a pretty solid typing overall. Gives it another resistance. Yes, he's weak to ground, but that's why we got the terrain to help him out with that. Another mon with momentum. That's 3 mons in a row. Thunderclap. So all 3 of my mons also got some strong momentum as well, and maybe cheeky Power Herb Solar Beam with the terrain up could be really strong. But this mon really does well with items like Booster, AV, Leftovers. Can get cheeky with his speed tier and run some other items. I don't want to disclose them because who knows, you might see them. But this mon, its move pool isn't the most vast, but it does what it has to do with the moves that it got. It hits really hard. It's a really good mon. Can set up with Calm Mind, Click Sub, stuff like that. So yeah, fantastic mon, and yeah, we're just moving right along. This is gonna be a quick one this season, guys. So in round 5, we decided to get a mon that I've learned to fall in love with, learned to love this last season of Puddle Master Ball, and that is young, or maybe not young, but my boy Slowking, currently 9-1 in Puddle Master Ball, by the way, decided to get a nice trusty mon that I've really loved using so far this season. That mon and Vaporeon are both mons I learned to really love. But yeah, we went with Slowking. He got the Chilly Reception for Momentum. He can set up Trick Room for me. He can set up Screams, Thunder Wave, Yawn. Great utility mon. Has respectable attacks, special attack stat, I believe 100 or 110. Let me see here. 100 special attack, 110 SPDF. Rockin' Scald, so has some pretty good water moves with it. Scald is just a great move to click. Can also set up future sides, click Psychic, stuff like that. Has Foul Play, I believe. So just a great mon. Just gotta be careful. If you get taunted, you can't Chilly out, and that's his only pivot move. But we will make do with that. We will make sure that that doesn't really hurt him too much. But yeah, I'm looking forward to using this mon again. He's definitely one of my comfort mons now, so you'll be seeing him a lot, I believe. So in the next round, we finally didn't get a mon with momentum. We went 4 rounds in a row with momentum mons. Now we decided to get some beef, and by beef I mean like really strong mon. I will disclose that this was a mon I got in Grace Period. It was originally Mandibuzz, which by the way is another momentum mon, but instead I went with my heart. I wanted to use this mon again. I used it in season 2 of Puddle, did horrible with it, and I wanted to try again with it. I feel like it'd be really fun to use. And that is King Gambit. Yes, he is back. He is our Dark Steel type. I love him. Again, be careful, upper hand, very scary move. But he does invite a lot of 50-50s. Is he gonna click Sucker Punch? Is he gonna click Kowtow? Is he gonna click Iron Head, Low Kick, Substitute, Swords Dance, all that stuff? He's just a very scary end game sweeper, but also can also be a pretty good defensive mon with his 100 HP, 120 defense, and 80 SPDF. You can run him AV, and I've done that before. But just in general, a very powerful mon, rocking Supreme Overlord and Defiant. Defiant will be a great ability to run on people that only have Defoggers, because then I can punish them for clicking Defog when I set up hazards and whatnot. But yeah, another strong priority mon. We have 4 mons with some strong priority, which I'm really liking. Priority is very important. But yeah, just a great mon, and looking forward to using King Gambit. Hopefully I bring him more than like 3 times I did like last time. And so moving on to the next round, I believe that is round 6. We have another comfort mon, a mon I probably use in like 5 leagues at this point, 4 leagues. It is Fortress. Just a fantastic utility mon. He's like the utility mon. Besides like Smeargle, he is like the utility mon. He has Rapid Spin, Spikes, Stealth Rocks. He has momentum with Volt Switch, Thunder Wave. He can set up Reflect as well. Yeah, he has Reflect, no Light Screen though. But yeah, he has Body Press, which is really good with his defense stat because it's like what, 140. So can turn a defensive mon into a pretty offensive mon, and he actually has 90 attack. I've definitely ran him with some attack before because he also gets Earthquake, Heavy Slam, stuff like that. That's mainly what I've used. But pretty good mon, has Spikes and Toxic Spikes, so he's rocking all the hazards, which is great for my Defiant mons that want to punish people for clicking Defog. And just an overall great defensive mon, and he's definitely one of our defensive centerpieces, that's for sure. In I believe round 7, we decided to go for our Terra Captain. It was the only fairy that I had in my draft plan. If it got taken, I don't know what I would have done. So I decided to grab it now because it was getting really dicey, and I thought people were going to start grabbing their fairies and Terra Captains. And we decided to go with the Cake Alcremie. Terra Captain at 2 points. They let Alcremie Terra at 2. I don't know why, but they did. And I am grateful for it because now I have Terra Alcremie. Now I get to find out how broken this thing is with Terra, because there's a lot of leagues that Terra ban this mon. Its ability stops it from being taunted and encored, so I can click Calm Mind without ever fearing a taunt or an encore. My Terra types are Water, Poison, and Ground. I believe those were some very good typings I could use to my advantage. Ground obviously being for the Steel types. Obviously Fire would also be good because it resists Steel as well. But I decided to go Ground. I kind of like Ground better. overall, I believe. It gives me an immunity as well to electric, which is cool. Poison, I also really like. It stops me from getting toxic. It helps me beat other fairies that want to get in my way. And then water, I also thought was pretty good. It helps me get around fire types that want to resist my fairy. It lets me beat ground types. Maybe there's like a ground... I don't know if there's ground steel. That's like Steelix. I don't know if there's anything else, but it also just lets you beat ground types and stuff like that, which yes, you can beat before, but it helps it just a little bit better. Water is just a really good typing. A lot of fairies like to just become water types, and like vice versa. Fairies like to become water types. So I thought that was a pretty good one for it. We'll see if those stick throughout the season. But I'm looking forward to use this Terra Alcremie. I'm not much of a setup guy, so I'm hoping I can do well with this mod and try and learn how to set up a little bit better. Next, I believe, is round 8. Yeah, round 8. We decided this was originally Electrode, and then we decided in Grace to change this mon out. We made a few trades. And we decided to grab Braviary. No Terra on Braviary, unfortunately, but I still believe Braviary is a great mon. It does have Sheer Force and Defiant, so another way to punish Defog. We have another Defiant mon that will give me a +2 in attack if he runs Defog, and also just punishes any sort of like stat decreasing. Also rocking Momentum. He has U-turn, I believe. I'm kind of going off the cuff here, so I know he gets Momentum. I think it's U-turn. Let me just look real quick. Yeah, it's U-turn, so great. It rocks really strong stab moves and Sheer Force Body Slam, and also can run Brave Bird, which is a really hard-hitting flying move. It also has coverage moves like Iron Head and Close Combat. So, and it can also set up with Agility, I believe, and it's a decently bulky bird with 100 HP. You might be surprised. You might see me run it with an AV. I love AV, so you never know. 100 HP and 75 speed def with an AV is not bad at all. But yeah, that's a nice ground immunity that can help with my Raging Bolt and other mon that I haven't got to say yet that is also weak to ground. But yeah, that's going to be coming up right now with our round 9 pick, which we decided to grab Salazzle. Salazzle is our poison type, besides our Terra Poison Alcremie, of course. It also is our fire type. I wanted those. It also has a really good speed tier of 117. That is our only mon above 110. So some people are gonna say bad roster. You don't have 2 110 mons. It is what it is. I've definitely done well in leagues without 2 110 mons. I have started going the route of grabbing 2 110s normally, but it's okay. But Salazzle has some nice strong stabs. It's quad resisted to fairy typing, which is very big. Has Sludge Bomb, I believe Sludge Wave, and you know, obviously Flamethrower, and it has some other weird coverages like Dragon Pulse. It also gets Nasty Plot. Corrosion lets me Toxic, Poison, and Steel types, which is very big and very important because I don't like Toxapex, I don't like Skarmory, Corviknight. All those guys are super annoying. Obviously, I have Raging Bolt to help with that too, but a Salazzle running around toxicking them is going to help a lot, especially with like stuff like Toxapex that has Regenerator, and those guys both having Roost. It kind of stops them from staying on the board forever, especially if they want to try and like Iron Defense body press, like how Corv likes it and stuff like that. So it's gonna be a fun mod. I have never really seen it be used this gen in draft. Obviously I don't watch a ton of draft. I watch like SPL, P4G, WPF. I watch a little bit from Gentleman Thomas, shout out to him. But like I haven't really seen it around too much, so I don't have a lot of past knowledge to go from, but I know Subtoxic is a really annoying set. So you might see that, you might not. But yeah, this mon, I think I'm gonna have fun using it. I've been really wanting to use Salazzle. Shoutouts to Shiro, my girlfriend, and you know, kind of like my head manager who helps me team build. She put me on Salazzle like a couple seasons ago, or like a season ago, and I said no. And then it started to grow on me, so she kind of influenced me with this pick a little bit. So I wanted to grab it up. So on our next pick, which is pick 10, our second to last pick, another mon that kind of got influenced by Dannymac telling us about how this mon popped off in one of his leagues for another person, and it got me interested in it, and that is Golurk. He is our ghost and ground type. We did not have ground yet, nor do we have ghost, so this is a good spin blocker. It's a very, very scary mon, has good offensive stats with 124 attack. It has no guard, so I can run dynamic punch and not worry about missing. I can run high horsepower instead of earthquake if I have terrain up. High horsepower is barely weaker than earthquake anyways. It's 95 to 100, so it'll just guarantee I don't miss that if I want to go that route. Or I can run Iron Fist and run like Drain. I have a lot of the punches, Drain Punch, Shadow Punch. I believe he probably has some of the elemental punches if I'm not mistaken. He also has Stealth Rock, so it's another Stealth Rocker for me, and he has a few other things that I can't remember off the top of my head, but he's a really cool mon, and I hope I can use him to some success, even if it's only a little bit. I know we only have like 8 weeks to do regular season, so not every mon is going to be able to pop off, unfortunately, but I'm going to try my best with all of them. But with that being said, let's get on to our last pick. Our last pick is my final Terra Captain, another mon that we traded in during Grace to bring it onto the squad. I wanted another ground immunity because I wanted to make sure ground doesn't bully me too much. So I have 2 ground immunities and a resist currently, with Rillaboom resisting plus adding terrain, and then Braviary, and now this mon. We got Terra Cryogonal, rocking the Levitate ability to help us out with those ground types with the Terras of Electric, Steel, and Ghost. I like these Terras because, first of all, Levitating Electric type has no weakness. He has a really high Spadef stat, which is going to help him greatly. 80 HP is not bad. Has 105 speed, so pretty respectable speed as well. And 95 special attack, so not a terrible special attack set either. Rocking Freeze Dry to help him get through water types if he's not Terra Electric anyways. Also has Rapid Spin, so it gives me another removal. I have Rapid Spin on Fortress, Cryogonal, and then Defog on Braviary. So we got some decent removal here. Which is great for me because I also dropped the Defog on Mandibuzz, of course, when I traded it out. But I also like the Terras of Ghost to help him with the fighting weakness. It gives me another spin blocker that can also... This one can spin. And then he also has like Ice Beam, I believe it has Flash Cannon, so I can go Terra Steel with Flash Cannon. Levitating Terra Steel types are also really good. This mon... I can even be cheeky and run Chili Reception Slowking with Aurora Veil Cryogonal if I want to get screens that way. He also just has dual screens, I believe, so there's that, plus Recover. Honestly, it's kind of an underrated mon. This mon is really good on paper. I'm hoping that I can get it being really good in practice like some other people do. Like Shuckle King, like your boy Shuckle King did in P4G, popped off with it. But yeah, guys, that is the end of the draft analysis video. I'm looking forward to this season. It is one of the this is like one of the only other leagues where that is not Puddle that I do. I used to do DDL. I've stopped doing DDL. I might go back to that one day. Who knows? And then I did like the low tier league, Natdex league that one time. But like I don't really have a lot of outside experience other than Puddle. So I'm really grateful that Dannymac allowed me to join. And good luck to all my opponents this season. And let's have a good season, guys. See you for week 1. Peace.